Donald Tusk said that the financial package prepared by Brussels is expected to be discussed later today, and a decision on it is expected to be made at an extraordinary meeting of the European Council on Thursday. Somewhat similar to what happened during COVID, but the scale is larger, because we are talking in this case about 150 billion euros to be borrowed directly for defence and the defence industry. And these will be loans guaranteed by the European Union budget. Question is, where should the equipment that the announced EU loans would finance come from? Looking at the civic platform's traditional allies, not likely from the United States. Roman Giertych calls for a change in alliances. I think it should be seriously considered whether it makes sense to buy US weapons in this situation. We need it fast, so supplies from France can come faster, and from Korea too. Mr. Roman Giertych is an MP and he has the right to express his views. He is neither the Minister of National Defence nor is he the Prime Minister. So please turn to him for interpretations. It is the Americans who guarantee security. They are the only guarantor of security. They have the financial backing, the military backing. They are a power, a world power that everyone has to reckon with. This is a given. So if someone is pulling his punches in an alliance with the Americans, that means it's verging on treason. Because since Friday's Trump-Zelensky conversation, Donald Tusk, like his partners in Germany, France and Brussels, has been trying to convince himself that Europe is capable of strengthening its own defence. They are counting on the Germans or the French to take over those contracts that were made by the Polish government with the Americans. Only the main problem is that this German and French equipment is much worse than American equipment. The delivery time is much longer, and the price is also much higher. The old EU countries have returned with plans to create a force in Europe equivalent to the US-dominated NATO. We certainly need to maintain this alliance because it is in Poland's interest, but alternative actions here must also be carried out. We cannot be doomed to the fate of the United States alone. As Europe, we must wake up. Talking about some kind of strategic autonomy as a counter to NATO, deluding oneself into thinking that security structures can be built within the framework of the European Union is dangerous for Polish citizens and for Poland's security. The problem is that for the civic platform, the United States, the strongest NATO country, is not a major ally. This is what Radosław Sikorski, the former and current head of the Foreign Ministry, said about it 11 years ago.
Wiesz, że sojusz polsko-amerykański jest nic nie warty.
You know that the Polish-American alliance is a worthless thing. It is even harmful because it creates a false sense of security. Complete bull. We'll conflict with Germany, with Russia. We'll think everything is great because we've done the Americans a favour. Suckers. Complete suckers. That's why today's action by the Tusk government is rather surprising.
Donald Tusk jest jednym z liderów europejskich.
Donald Tusk is one of the European leaders of the process of pushing the United States out of Europe. And this threatens the security not only of Poland, but also of the entire North Atlantic Alliance, because its foundation is the strength of the US Army, the most powerful army in the world. Life abhors a vacuum. If the US withdrew from Europe, there would be a vacuum that someone would have to fill. We would either have to deal with Russia's imperial ambitions or Germany's quest for hegemony. Neither of these options, I think, is favourable for Poland. The Polish ambassador Bogdan Klich, still unrecognised by Polish President Andrzej Duda. This shows the intentions of the December 13th coalition. He is betting on relations with Germany, not with the Americans, because if he were betting on relations with the Americans, he would have sent a professional to Washington, a professional diplomat who can arrange normal relations, not a man who insulted Donald Trump. This is what Donald Tusk is not doing. He himself is not welcome in the White House either. Fortunately, President Andrzej Duda, known for his excellent relations with President Donald Trump, still sits in the presidential palace. Interestingly, even participants in Tusk's coalition have noted President Duda's contributions to the Polish-American alliance. A great deal is being done by President Duda and has been done. And here you really have to praise the President. And our government also emphasises that, ours, because it is a joint government, and yours and mine, and all of ours, all Poles, and we all emphasise that this alliance is really important. The problem is that such appreciation of the President's role is a rather new thing in the actions of the smiling coalition. The American administration does not take the Polish government seriously. The partner for the US administration is President Andrzej Duda, and that is why everything possible must be done so that after the 18th of May or the 1st of June, Karol Nawrocki will become the new president of Poland and will become a great partner for the United States. We have a very good relationship with this president and his immediate environment. We should do nothing, and I hope that those in power will do nothing of the sort to spoil these relations, because relations with the United States are guarantees of security for Poland and Europe.